Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's fly the Inibuild L1011 once again, and we are going to do that in the good old retro British Airways operations. We are going to take across the North Atlantic to New York's John F. Kennedy Airport. Now, I'd say without any further ado, it's quite wet outside here. Even though the view is great, we are gonna jump right into the TriStar and board through the one left door, making our way up to the cockpit. Now, we are going to do this one with INS navigation only, so this is gonna turn out into quite the interesting piece of operations today. But, as always, before we start doing any of the actual work in the flight deck, we gotta start our work in the flight plan. So let's hop into a route analysis and start setting that stuff up before we do all the rest. Now, here's what our flight plan looks like today, and we are indeed just going to make it a very easy crossing. Now, let's actually do it that way, that's a little easier. So, we are leaving London Heathrow, and we are going to cross via Nut Bravo all the way to south of Newfoundland, then cross Nova Scotia and making landfall at Boston, and then along Long Island into New York. The significant weather chart is pretty clear along the first half of our flight, only crossing a jet stream over here at the second half of our flight, which is the only source of possible turbulence that we are going to encounter. Now, looking into the airport weather, London Heathrow has some light rain, broken clouds, quite windy, and New York, fantastic forecast with a little bit of a chance for some gusts, but overall beautiful weather conditions. Our alternate in Philadelphia has pretty much exactly the same, so I am fairly confident to go with minimum fuel today. We're departing London Heathrow at 0720 and we are supposed to arrive at 1510. Going to actually arrive 22 minutes ahead of schedule here. Cruising in flight level 320, 330 across the Atlantic, and then 360 on the other side. Now, we did use a flight plan across track Bravo, however we are a little early for that, so the flight plan is filed using individual track waypoints. Now, our figures over here are in pounds, because we did find that that performance computer of the aircraft didn't work when we flew our first trip, and that was in kilograms. So I'm kind of thinking, since they said in the public previews that the weights need to be entered in pounds, I'm kind of thinking maybe it's going to be a little better in pounds. So we are just going to give this a try and see how it is going to work out. Now, with all of that in mind, if we do happen to be a little heavier, we are not using a lot of extra fuel. If we are flying a little bit lower, we are using quite a bit of extra fuel, up to 3,200 pounds here. But looking into our flight plan, we got a contingency of 4,000, plus we got all the alternate fuel for Philadelphia. So I'm rather happy to actually take it minimum. So that's going to be 163,000 pounds of fuel, and that's it. Alright then. With all of that done, let's go ahead and get right into our pre-flight procedures here. So we are going to start with the cockpit safety inspection, which is gear lever down, flap lever matches the actual flap position, which is up, then the fuel and ignition switches are off, the speed brake handle is forward, the ATM switches are off, and the electric hydraulic pump switches are all off down there. And on the other side of the flight deck, we got all the electricals off and we got the INSs off, which is kind of the type of stuff that you can break if you switch the power on too early. Okay, then let's head into our PFB and connect the ground power unit. We are also going to request the catering services already, handling by, I don't care, give me Gate Gourmet. Hopefully they're gonna produce some good stuff for us. Alright, so right back here into the Flight Engineers panel, and then we can go ahead with a bit of a startup. So the standby power is gonna come on, and the light is illuminated. We got the bar illuminated over here, and we can already go ahead and have a look down here. Standby bus is looking good, voltage is good, and then battery on. Ground power unit on, then let's go ahead and turn our lights up. Here we go, that's looking better, isn't it? Flap lights as well, please. And the same stuff in the front over here. So you get the instrument lights and you get the floodlight. Same thing over here. And down here. Alright, here we go. That's looking better, isn't it? Panel lights, overhead lights, panel lights, and yeah, I can turn that center console floodlight on as well. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. So, our airplane is now alive. Let's go ahead and do a couple more procedures. So, fire test. It's looking good. Bulb cutout switch is working after pressing it several times. Okay, got to keep that one in mind. It's rather cold outside, so let's go ahead and start the APU. So master switch on, starter switch on, and here's the door in transit light. Now, while that thing's coming on, let's go ahead and turn off those switches up here. Can already turn the cross bleeds on, and down here the isolation valve and the hot air switches as well. And yeah, now we're just waiting for the APU to finish its startup process, then we can get some air conditioning on, and with that we are getting into position to finish up the last procedures we need to do before the passengers are going to come, and then we can start boarding. Okay, so APU bleed shutoff valve open, and the isolation valve is coming open. Packs on, and here we go. With that, we do have air conditioning available. Now, let's go right back to the front, please. And let's go down into the OFP. Just make sure we got the latest loaded down here. And then into the load sheet, SimBrief import. So, for our fuel, we said we wanted 163. No, I said 163. Well, 162.9 is gonna do the job. That's fine, the rest is set, so our figures are looking quite good. And then we can move down into GSX and just check what's going on outside. So, the catering services have just arrived and catering is in progress. Good. Well, then let's prepare for boarding. So, fueling is complete, so the belts are coming on, standby power is armed, emergency lighting is armed, position lights are on, and with that we are ready to receive passengers. So we'll just wait until catering has completed and then we can go. Now I think GSX cannot just operate the doors yet. Yep. So 1 right and 3 right. And the cargo doors can be opened as well. Think we do need hydraulic for the cargos? Well, let's go ahead and find out, because we are about to run over and do the flight engineer's pre-flight procedure anyway. After setting the... I keep forgetting that, okay. Asus, align, align, align. Okay, and then we just need the coordinates here, which are not on the terminal, okay. Then we need the charts. So, Heathrow Airport. Parking stand and coordinates. Looking for stand number 319. So that's up here, 5128-2. And 27.9. Alright, insert. Now the IRSs are aligning. 5128.2 was correct, huh? Yeah, it was. Okay. Alright, so same thing on this side. So that is checked. And then we got a third one. 51.28.2. And that's 27.9. Okay. Nice. So the IRS alignment is now in progress. And with that, we can head over to the engineer station. We can ensure that boarding is going to start. And then we can start doing some work. Okay, so let's power the hydraulics and all systems pressurizing, quantities are good, then we can turn that stuff back off again. Let's turn one of those galley buses on, and the APU generator can also be turned on, and that's looking good. That's all looking good. Down here everything's good. Fuel system. Is looking good. Transfeed valves are operative. Tank 1A, is there anything in there? Yeah, a little, and the same goes for tank 3A, I guess. Yep, that is looking okay. Alright, so the refueling is complete. Fuel used reset. Quantity test is looking good. So, set. Checked. Then we got a couple tests to do on the engine status panel. That's looking good. And system B. Alright, that's done. So, the APU down here can go to norm for the time being. Detectors, norm and test. Short test. Then, up here, everything's set. Okay, that's all set. Up here everything is set. Then let's go down to the air conditioning panel, or rather to the engine bleed controls, which are all set. Area overheats, so we got 7 overheat lights. We got the wing anti-ice, and we got the master overheat light. Perfect. The same for system B. And that's looking good. Alright, cargo heater's cold and the rest is set down here. So, cruise level is going to be flight level 330. Like this, and the QNH somewhere around 1020, I suppose. But we are going to get the ATIS later on to confirm. Okay, outflow valves. Operating just fine, and returning to auto. Perfect, with that we're done on the engineer's panel, so let's get up to the captain's station. So, set, checked, light test is looking good. Audio master's on, set, and you are supposed to be all off, yep, just like you. Then, up here, everything is set. We'll be using System B today. Everything set. Set up here as well. Unfortunately, the anti-skid test is not simulated at this time. The lights are all set and the seatbelts are on. Excellent. Then, getting down to the main instrument panel. That's all looking good. Field elevation roughly 0. We'll get the ADIS later on to confirm the QNH anyway. Okay, and down here everything is set. The DMEs are coming on. Well then, moving down, let's go ahead and find our frequencies. So, departure 8 is 1219035. One to 15. Then we need delivery, which is 12198. And finally ground 121.705, I think. Okay, audio controls. Yeah, don't really need anything down here. Let's do 10345. We'll probably need that across the Atlantic. Like that. In the middle, transponder is set, weather radar is off, and everything's set. On your side, audio control panel is all set as well. Beautiful. Okay, then we got that stuff done, so let's go ahead and have a look into the second half of our flight plan and see how we can plan our standard instrument departure. So, route is the Goxi 2 Golf departure. Let's see, departures, Goxi 2 Golf, here it is. And that is straight ahead to intercept. Radial 255 outbound London VOR 13.6. Like that, and 255 outbound. Like that. Okay, then we follow the QDM 268 inbound Woodley 352. And we are going to switch that ADF on. Don't receive anything yet, but it should come once we're airborne. And then it's going to be 212 outbound from Sierra Alpha Mike 1335. Flight directors on. Toga selected. Okay, and the heading is going to be the runway heading, so 270. Alright, and that's all looking good. So with that, we have the SID set up. So let's continue by entering our cruise waypoints. And I think if we start at Goxi, we should be more than good to go. So what I'm doing next to entering the waypoints over here is to use my iPad, where I also downloaded that flight plan PDF, in order to write the numbers of the individual waypoints down. So we do want to link that up with all the other units. So waypoint number 1, and that's going to be Goxi 51175. And 001000. Insert. Then waypoint 2, FTS 51049er and 00130. Okay, then we need Exaro, which is 51001. and 01228. Osmok 5053.6 and 002002. So AppCake is 5047.8 and 00232.8. Then we've got Yosma at 5037.6 and 00356.6. Then we continue on the gap leap. At exactly 50 north and 8 degrees west. Then we got Bedra, which is 49 north, 15 west. And then we can already enter our first North Atlantic waypoint, which is 48 north, 20 west. Okay. And that's pretty much all of our waypoints entered for the time being. How's the alignment going? Getting there. Okay. Good. So that's all that good stuff done. Then let's go ahead and grab the Asus and see what we'll be up to.
London Heathrow Airport. Information Charlie. 13500. Arriving runway 27 right. Departing runway 27 left. Wind 240 at 19er. Visibility 10. Rain. Broken at 3500. Temperature 10. Dew point 2. QNH 1026. Transition level 70. Touchdown zone lights are currently intermittent on the west ramp. Advise on course heading, altitude, and the flight following is
Okay, nice. So information Charlie is on board. Let's get our clearance. Heathrow delivery, Speedbird 117, information Charlie, request IFR clearance to New York.
Clearance on request. Stand by. Speedbird 117, cleared to Kennedy via the Gogsy 2 Golf departure. Climb flight level 060. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.625, squawk 1437. Expect runway 27 left.
Speedbird 117 is cleared to New York, Kennedy via the Gogsy 2 Golf departure. Climb altitude 6000, departure 125.625, squawk 1437.
Speedbird 117, read back correct. Ground is on 121.905, safe flight, sir.
121.905, Speedbird 117. Okay, nice. So that stuff's done. Climbing 6000. Here we go. And that's pretty much it. Alright, lovely. So by now our boarding is hopefully complete. Yes, it is. Okay, lovely. So let's have a look into the load sheet.
On behalf of the entire crew, my name is Mara Maya, and
fuel is 162.8. Then, what else do we have here? Let's see, passengers 143, that is a weight of 42.5. Then we have a cargo weight of 31.0, making for a total passenger or a total payload of 73.5. And that leads us to a zero fuel weight of, well, do I want to calculate now? I guess I have to. 318. Is that right? I think it is. So 318.0, fuel is 162.8, and with that we've got a takeoff weight of 482.3. And that is all correct. Okay, so 482.3, let's go ahead and punch that in. Because I think this might take a while right now. But it's quite important that we have the correct weights available so that we're able to determine things like step climbs, etc. So I'm afraid there is no way around dialing this thing up. It's just annoying that it takes so long right now, especially when you have such a large weight difference here. Regardless whether it was the weight in kilogram on our last flight or whether it's the thing in pounds right now, it would be nice to have a little shortcut available to set this quickly. And I am definitely going to suggest that to any builds. Apart from that, the fuel is looking good and it seems to be distributed just about fine. The weather itself is good as well. Looks like it has actually stopped raining for the time being, which doesn't mean that we aren't going to calculate a wet runway anyway, but at least, you know, means we don't have to use the wipers, because I'm honest with you, I hate airplane wipers, totally hate them. So 482.3, here we go, that's all set now. 162.5 is looking good and the fuel is completely on board. Lovely. Alright, so with that we are done up here. Let's go ahead and get going on our takeoff performance. At least once it lets me click something again after scrolling for so long. A little simulator bug there. Come on. Sometimes Microsoft Flight Simulator is just an annoying piece of thing. Come on, let me click something. It's taking a little bit too long for my taste. Dum, 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 da, 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 dum, dum, dum. The funny thing is, I can look around using my joystick, I just can't click anything using my mouse. Looks like the sim is registering some rain again. Okay. Makes it easier to decide to use the... makes it easier to decide to use the wet runway. Alright, here we go. I can finally click something again. God. Okay, so takeoff performance, weight, and we have 482.3. Like that. Pressure altitude, let's just use 0. Airport temperature, according to the ATIS, is 10 degrees. Alright, flaps 14. We have wet figures anywhere? No, huh? Okay. So, speeds are calculated, set box and EPR. Here we go, that's all set. And that is looking fantastic. Okay, nice. Then everything's done. We can tune that auto throttle up to 250 straight away. Like this, and then we have the performance computer. Oh, and we have the QNH real quick, 1026 and 1026. Alright, for the performance computer, gross weight, 483, insert, and fuel 162.5, insert. No. Okay, not sure what's going on here. Gotta be a bug. So be it. Okay, so let's see. Optimum 390. No, I don't think so. Okay, then we're not going to use the data from here. Nope, then we're definitely not going to use it. Alright, fine. Cool, so with everything completed, let's do the before start checklist, please. Oxygen mask and interphone. See, that's why we're doing this. So, oxygen mask and interphone checked, MSUs. Nav, compass, Mac and sync override panel checked, NSGET checked and off, emergency lights and standby powers armed, cabin signs on, AFCS panel checked, flight instruments checked, annunciators checked, engine instruments checked, brake system normal, radios and radar are set, INS checked and set, throttle quadrant checked, landing gear down 3 green, trims 0, and then let's go to the back. So, fuel quantity 162.4. Oxygen mask and interphone checked. Fire and overheat protection checked. Electrical panel checked. Battery switch on. Fuel panels set. Pressurization set. And logbook checked. Before start checklist complete. Okay, so far so good. Then let's go ahead and ensure we are operating on the APU generator. That's looking good. So, external power can be disconnected. Close, 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 and disconnect. And the one left should be closed automatically when we request pushback and departure. So let's verify that that actually happens. Okay. Yep, the one left is closed. Excellent. Okay, so far so good. Then let's go ahead and request pushback and startup. Heathrow ground, speedbird 117 heavy, request pushback and startup.
Speedbird 117, startup approved.
Startup approved, speedbird 117. Speedbird 117, request pushback.
Speedbird 117, pushback approved, face southeast.
Pushback approved, face southeast, speedbird 117. Okay. Alright, up here everything is set. Over here everything is set as well now. And down here as well. Okay. So, start checklist, MSUs. Nav, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, electrical panel checked, fuel panel gross weight checked and set, APU min mode, pack flow is 1 on. Start checklist complete. Okay, ground from cockpit. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Okay, roger. Pushback is approved, facing southeast, parking brake is set. Roger that, stand by. Okay, let's see, that stuff is set up. Good, so how's GSX doing? Not there yet. Let's see, parking brake is set. It's waiting for something. Doors are all closed. No idea why GSX isn't going forward right now. I mean, it can only be related to the doors, huh? Let's go ahead and just open and close it again. Maybe that's going to make the difference. Yep, that is what made the difference. Okay, so facing south. Okay, flight deck, please release parking brakes. Parking brake released. Thank you. Start the pushback, stand by for engine start. Yeah, that looked funny. I'll better not think about what might have happened there on our wheels, otherwise we'd probably just be going straight back home. Okay, and here we go. So ground, start sequence is going to be 1, 2, 3, and we'll start with engine number 2 now.
Please give us your full attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Smoking,
And 3.
including e-cigarettes and vaping devices, is not permitted at any time on
And
board,
1.
including in the toilets. Please ensure all personal electronic devices are set to flight safe mode. Handheld devices must be held securely or placed in a seat pocket. Larger devices, including laptops, must be switched off and stowed for takeoff and landing. Please unplug devices from the power supply when not in use. If a device falls into your seat, please do not move the seat yourself. Ask a member of the cabin crew for assistance. Hand baggage must be placed under the seat in front of you or securely in the overhead locker, ensuring aisles and exits remain clear. Please fasten your seatbelt whenever the
parking
seatbelt
via
sign is
Alpha
illuminated.
Niner, Echo Alpha
It
Delta.
fastens, tightens, and opens as shown. If your seat is fitted with a shoulder harness,
Okay, we're good. Starting 2,
this must
starting
also
1.
be worn for takeoff and landing.
Clear 1.
For your safety, we recommend keeping your
Engine
seatbelt
1
fastened
start.
at all times when seated. If the cabin air pressure changes, oxygen masks will automatically
And 3.
pull a mask
and 1.
toward you, place it over your nose and mouth, secure the band, and breathe normally. Always fit your own mask first before assisting others. Your life jacket is located under or beside your seat.
Here's
Only
20%.
inflated once you are outside the aircraft. In the event of an evacuation, leave all belongings behind and proceed quickly to the nearest usable exit, guided by floor-level lighting. All exits are clearly marked and may be behind you. High-heeled shoes must be removed before using the evacuation slides. Further safety
Alright, pushback
information,
completed, set
including brake
brakes.
position, can be found on the safety card at your seat.
Brake
Please take
set.
a moment to review it before departure.
And now we go starting 1, starting 3.
Your table is stowed.
Clear 3.
Window blinds are open, and all devices are unplugged for takeoff.
Engine 3 start.
If you have any questions, please ask a member of our cabin crew. Thank you for your attention,
And 2.
and enjoy your flight with British Airways.
Or actually N3. And 1. Let's see, and 2 is back there, is rotating as well. Here's 20%. Now in the real world, those engine starters do have an enriched position as well. If you use that, it enriches the fuel that gets into the engine, providing a faster engine start. Unfortunately, IndyBuilds did not simulate that, and I guess it would actually be impossible in the limits of Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Sequence 6 Alpha Zulu ready to taxi.
Okay.
6 Alpha Zulu, runway
So ground, we have
taxi
3 good
via
starts, you're clear to
Alpha,
disconnect.
653,
I see you on the
Bravo,
left hand side with a clear signal, bye bye. Okay.
7 left taxi via Alpha, link 53 Bravo, link 28, November 1, Speedbird 6 Alpha Zulu.
GSX panel block in the view. So, flaps 14.
Flaps 10, flaps 14.
And the trim 3.66. Like this. Alright, now to the back. Generators are holding, good. Okay, shutting down the APU, and up here everything's good. Alright. That looks fantastic. Let's go over the checklist and see what we have forgotten. Afterthought checklist. Engine anti-ice, on. Pitot alpha and windshield heat, on. Start ignition. Both. Annunciators, checked. Hydraulic panel, checked. Actually, no it's not. Now it is. Hydraulic panel checked, electrical panel checked. Fuel panel checked. Fuel control amplifiers, latch, non-latch, APU, shutdown, annunciators, test, and that's the afterstart checklist complete. Speedbird 117 Heavy, request taxi.
Speedbird 117, can you repeat that?
Speedbird 117, request taxi.
Speedbird 117, runway 27 left taxi via Foxtrot, Bravo, link 28, November 1.
Speedbird 117, taxi to holding point 27 left via Foxtrot, Bravo, link 28 and November 1. So, Foxtrot, Bravo, link 28, November 1, 27 left. Okay, we're clear on the left side, and we're clear on the right side. Park and brake released. The manual says we shouldn't have to go above 70% N1, but looks like we need to go well above it. N3 I meant, sorry, not N1.
Ground Speedbird 4 Echo Alpha, taxi to parking.
What's that? Engine 2 fail light?
Speedbird 4 Echo Alpha, taxi to parking
No, the
via
engine is
Alpha
running just
Niner,
fine.
Echo Alpha, link 58, Bravo.
Alpha Niner, Echo Alpha, link 58, Bravo, Speedbird 4 Echo Alpha.
Okay, the right side is clear, and the left side is clear. So, left onto Bravo. Okay, and then all the way to runway 27 left. So, are you ready for the takeoff briefing? It's going to be a lefty takeoff of runway 27 left, flaps 14, noise abatement procedure number 2. Takeoff speeds are 155, 160 and 171, and the SID takes us straight ahead, intercept the radial 255 from London VOR to intercept the QDM. What is it? The QDM inbound to Woodley. Now, then we're eventually going to make a left turn out, and that's pretty much it. Initial climb altitude 6,000. Engine failure straight at 25 miles, and an MSA of 2,200 feet keeps us safe at an altitude of 3,000 feet. For an immediate return, Heathrow is okay for the weather. Not perfect, but absolutely okay. Alright, and that's all I got. Any questions or suggestions? No? Alright.
Runway 27 left taxi via Yankee, Bravo, link 28, November 1.
Okay, so we keep going straight, past Lockheed, and then link 28, November 1, so that we have the full length of the runway available.
Route 997, taxi parking via Alpha Niner, Echo, Alpha, Lima, November 3, hold short of runway 27 left, then Sierra 3, Victor.
So, as far as I can see, 27 left isn't actually too busy right now. So let's try to be first there before that Brunei. Alright. So I think the routing is pretty clear from here on, so let's prepare that departure chart. So 255 to intercept 268 inbound to Woodley. Okay, here's Locky and we're clear to cross. Looks like there's one company ahead. Okay, and link 28 straight ahead as it says on that sign.
Alpha 9er Echo Hotel Bravo Foxtrot Virgin 6 Juliet.
Alright, so we'll go behind that A320 over there. Left side is clear, right side is clear. Lovely Concorde straight ahead. That is an airplane that I really want for the sim as well.
Seabird 117, contact tower on 124.48. Have a good morning.
124.48, Speedbird 117, bye bye.
Speedbird 474 kilo ready to taxi.
Okay, here's that, and departure frequency 1256. 25. Like that. Heathrow Tower, good morning, Speedbird 117 Heavy is ready for departure.
Seabird 117 Heavy, Heathrow Tower, runway 27 left, line up and wait.
Runway 27 left, line up and wait, Speedbird 117 Heavy. So, flight controls, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and spoilers are checked. Come on.
Bird 117 Heavy, runway 27 left, wind 240 at 19er, clear to takeoff.
Runway 27 left, clear for takeoff, Speedbird 117 Heavy. Okay, so before takeoff checklist. Brake system checked, continuous ignition on, slats flaps 14, stabilizer trim 3.6 units, flight controls checked, flight and nav instruments are set for departure. Takeoff data checked and set, briefing complete, ATMs auto, APU off, cabin crew alerted, landing and strobe lights on, anti-skid on, alpha heat off lights out, transponder on, and pack flow 1 on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, happy with the rolling takeoff? Take off. Thrust set. Checked. Positive climb. You're up. 125, 625, speedbird 117. Flaps 10, speed checked. Flaps 4. Heathrow departure, speedbird 117 heavy, passing 2000, climbing 6000.
Speedbird 117 heavy, Heathrow radar contact.
And flaps up.
Climb and maintain 3000 directly 255 Golf.
Climbing 3000 and we'll proceed on the 6. Speedbird 117. So, climb to 3000 only.
Speedbird 117 heavy, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb now, flight level 200, speedbird 117 heavy. Set. Alright, climb thrust is set, speed 250, and then, very quick check, 268 inbound to Woodley.
Speedbird 117 heavy, speed below 250 knots.
Yeah. Okay, so that is looking good for now. So, right turn, 268, give me a heading, give me speed.
Contact London Control on 121.03.
121.03, speedbird 117. Come on, switch it. Thanks. London Control, speedbird 117 heavy, passing level 69, climbing level 200.
Speedbird 117 heavy, London Control, good morning.
So, set standard. And standard cross check, passing level 75. Now. Okay, so 13 DME, left turn 212. And here's 13 GME.
Speedbird 117 heavy, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, speedbird 117 heavy. Set, 260 checked. Okay, so now we need 1335 and 212. Like this. VOR. Alright, and we are high enough that we don't need noise anymore, so let's go thrust management. So, packs on, down here everything's set, fuel is set, APU is off, that's good. And passing level 100, vertical speed, let's start accelerating. So we're flying this until 24 DME, which is GOXY. And then let's go ahead and switch. 0 to 1, insert. That's looking fantastic, INS nav. So 320 knots for the climb. And while we're accelerating, lights off. And yeah, I think we can also switch the signs off already. So continuous ignition is no longer needed, auto brake off, and yeah. Anti-ice off. Why not? Okay, the speed is coming up to 320.
Speedbird 117 heavy. Climb and maintain
hold.
flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, Speedbird 117 heavy. Set 290 checked. So what do we have down there? Fuel system. That can only be you. Alright, so quick check. We got 24.2 in the outer tanks, so that's 48.2. So technically speaking, let's go ahead and turn on the transfer valves. We can start balancing. How much do we have in the A tanks? Not a lot. Transfer on. Okay. So, after takeoff checklist. Now it's landing gear up in neutral, flaps and sluts up and retracted, continuous ignition off, landing lights off, cabin signs off, temp and probe heat on, hydraulic panel set, fuel panel checked and ECS panel checked, after takeoff checklist complete. Okay, that was easy. So with that, we're up and on the way. Let's see if we can get any good info down here, but I don't really think so. Yeah, optional 390, definitely not. So we'll do level 320 as per the assembly flight plan, and then we can simply go ahead and climb level 330 when we enter the North Atlantic airspace. Okay, and with that, we've pretty much done everything we had to do for the time being. Let's go ahead and have one more look at the fuel panel back here. So the A tanks are transferred, we can turn that off. So we gotta run the tanks 1 and 3 until we are at 48.4, and then that's it. Climbing flight level 320, Speedbird 117. Set 320 checked. And that is confirmed for the cruise up here. Alright, the cabin altitude is still bugging around, nothing we can do against that. Up here everything is set and switched, APU off, and electrics are all set. Alright then, I'd say for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there's anything we can do for you to make it more comfortable, don't hesitate and ask any of our channel cabin crew. And with that, I see you all again later. 117 Heavy descending 16,000.
Speedbird 117 Heavy, New York approach. Good morning, Kennedy. Altimeter 3046. Expect the ILS runway 22 left approach into Kennedy.
Altimeter 3046, expecting the ILS 22 left, Speedbird 117 Heavy. Alright, my friends, so we are on the approach, following the Part 4 arrival, currently approaching Calverton, which we're going to leave on a 229 outbound, and ATC has descended us to 16,000, so we are a little bit higher than what the starboard.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Altimeter 3046.
Descend and maintain 7,000 on 3046, Speedbird 117 Heavy. Alright, let's go. Vertical speed minus 2,000, and we are approaching Calverton. So let's turn on to heading 229er, which is going to be our outbound track from Calverton. That's what I like about the arrival to New York. You can basically fly the entire thing until Rover using conventional navigation. It's really only once you reach Rover, that last right turn here onto 283 degrees to Crail, that you cannot do with reference to the needles. But nonetheless, once we are in onto Rover, like a mile or two before we turn right, and then we actually got that track. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the approach that we're going to fly. It's going to be the ILS approach from a 22 left, and that is with an MSA of 2,900 feet, radar vectored onto the final. Now let's have a look over here. ILS approach from a 22 left. So yeah, radar vectored onto the final. Frequency is 110.9er. We can already pre-select that on the right hand side here. So 110.9er, there it is. Now let's make sure that we are properly intercepting that radial over here. It's always the thing when you're that close to the station. Sometimes needs a little while to actually come in. Completely normal and within the tolerances of flying conventional navigation. Okay, so 1109, 224, we can pre-select that down here, and then we are eventually going to land with a minimum of 200 feet. Well, I'm saying we're eventually going to land. We're not actually all that sure whether we are going to do that, because the weather is quite nice. 190 at 25, dust 32. So New York has party going on. Well, missed approach might be relevant today. Climb 500, climb left on 3000, JFK VOR, radio 190 outbound Chand, and JFK is going to be 59. We'll tune that to number 2 once we're established inbound on the, or once we are established on the ILS. And we'll be using the ILS on my side and JFK VOR on your side, so that we have quick reference available in case of a go around. Okay. So, that's the plan for the approach. Looking into the landing performance, the approach 153 probably going to be with a couple of knots extra due to that gust. Let's fly a 158 on the approach, and apart from that, easy going, just like what we are used to. Okay then, so Rover is 18.1 miles outbound Calverton, so we're going to make a right-hand turn by 45 degrees. So let's say at 17 miles we can make that right-hand turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into New York City.
Alright, passing 10,000, lights are on and the signs are on.
Ensure your seats are in the full upright position.
Okay, with that everything is set.
Weather in New York
Approaching.
is clear with a temperature of 8 degrees Celsius. Our assigned gate is Terminal 8, Gate 12. Thank you for your cooperation.
So, 1,000 feet a minute. And here we go, approaching that radio. So in 2 miles we can already commence the right-hand turn onto 283 degrees. 1 more mile. Three, 2, 1, turn. So 283, and that's pretty much leading us to Trail. That's the best we will be able to do here. So 110.9er, and then the final approach course 224 is selected. Good. And for reference, 15.9 Kennedy VOR, we can tune that now. 1159, here it is. So we got 32 miles to run. Okay, so far so easy. Then let's go ahead and do the approach checklist, please. So, fast melts on, exterior lights on, altimeters 3046 and 1031 are checked, flap stats to go, red nav on radio, no smoking sign on, and fuel panel down here is checked. That's the approach checklist complete. Alright, so far so easy. Now we're waiting for ATC to give us radar vectors. New York is coming up in front. Beautiful view is coming up right where we are already. Definitely a beautiful view. Most definitely. Ah, it's gotten dark inside. Right, 25 miles to run. Speedbird 117 heavy, request radar vectors for the approach.
Speedbird 117 heavy, turn right, heading 355 vectors for the ILS runway 22 left approach.
Right, heading 355, Speedbird 117 heavy. Okay, heading 355. That's taking us quite far away from the airport. But I guess that's what I get for asking for vectors. Alright, tell you what I'm gonna do though. Autopilot off. I did say that I wanted to get a bit of a feeling for the airplane. So no better way to do this than by doing some manual flight here. Descend and maintain 4000, left 330, Speedbird 117. Okay, 4000, EOS hold, 330. Here's the result of not having a pilot monitoring, climbing away a couple feet. Obviously, that is something you should not do in the real world. Then again, in the real world, you have a pilot monitoring. Otherwise, you will absolutely not be flying manually. Alright, here we go.
Speedbird 117, heavy, proceed direct roughly. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 22 left approach.
What is the heading to Rossley, Speedbird 117? We're not going to proceed directly anywhere. That's why I asked for... Oh god.
Heavy Rossley is on heading 250.
Heading 250 and descending 3000. Cleared ILS, runway 22 left. Speedbird 117. Right, that may be descending a little bit too quick here. 21 miles to go, passing 5,000. So 1,000 feet a minute should be good. Flight director seems to demand turns a little bit too early here. Like you can see, I can easily smoothly fly this. And my only problem now is that JFK VOR is actually to the right of us. So this heading, getting us direct to the field, but not to the approach. Yeah, that's nonsense. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Flight director's off. Fuck that, fuck that. Looks like we have to establish ourselves. That's exactly what you would have needed ATC for. Okay, here we go. Looks like this track is roughly good. Then let's start slowing down. Okay, runway track is set down there. So I'll be helping myself here with a position indicator on the chart, because if ATC doesn't want to, then so be it. Flaps 4. And flaps 10. We'll be flying 180 on the intermediate leg. Okay, so looks like we are roughly on a good track to intercept. Let's turn left, 260. This is the job that ATC should have done. So 260. And that is looking fantastic.
Speedbird 117 Heavy, contact Kennedy Tower on 119.1 crossing Rosalie.
119.1 at Rosalie, Speedbird 117 Heavy. Alright, so the track is looking good, Rosalie in 3000 is looking good, and then you can tune the tower frequency please, for me. Fly slope alive. Localizer alive. Okay, runway's in sight. And glide slope capture.
31R holding short, JetBlue 623.
Kennedy Tower, Speedbird 117 Heavy established on the ILS to left.
Speedbird 117, Heavy, Kennedy Tower, roger. Continue approach. Speedbird 117 Heavy, winds 190 at 25, gusting 32, runway 22 left, cleared to land.
22 left, clear to land, Speedbird 117 Heavy. Alright, gear down. And flaps full. Okay, so final approach speed 148 plus 10. Call it 158.
JetBlue 623, hold short of runway 31 right.
Holding short of runway 31 right, JetBlue 623.
Alaska 208, hold short of runway 31 right.
Okay, would you please complete the landing checklist for me?
Endeavour
Yes,
495
I am
liner
kind of busy
hold,
hand flying
short
right
of
now,
runway 31 right.
but there's flaps full, gear down, and you can do all the remaining items.
Short Endeavour 4959er.
That's the trick between getting manual flight right and completely messing it up. Just don't get confused, focus yourself on the important stuff, and hey, that's exactly what you would have a pilot monitoring for, completing that landing checklist for you. You can see that we are already battling the wind a little bit here.
JetBlue 623, hold short of runway 31 right.
Holding short of runway 31 right, JetBlue 623.
Alaska 208, hold short of runway
Correcting
31 right.
speeds.
Endeavour 4959er, hold short of runway 31 right.
Holding short of runway 31 right, Endeavour 49er.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm doing quite some work on the control column here. But overall, the speed is pretty stable. Probably also due to the weight of the aircraft. I mean, we're at some 155 tons right now. So at 400 feet we are going to lose the ILS signal, most likely.
JetBlue 623, hold short of runway 31 right.
At least that is what happens a lot of times when approaching Kennedy. Yep, here it is.
Alaska 208.
But we got the
hold short
runway
of
visual,
runway
we are on the
31 right.
puppy.
Endeavour 4959er,
And
hold short
the
of
signal
runway
is back
31
again,
right.
perfect.
Holding short of runway 31 right, Endeavour 4959er.
Man, that was some work. So, spoilers, reverse. 100 knots, manual brakes. 80 knots. And here we are. Welcome to New York. That was interesting. That was some lovely weather.
Speedbird 117, heavy, welcome to Kennedy. Exit at hotel if able. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Exiting at hotel 121.9er, Speedbird 117 heavy.
Did you know that New York
Alright,
City is
you tune that for me, please.
08, hold short of runway 31 right.
Thank you for flying with British Airways. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of your flight crew, thank you for flying with British Airways. The local time is 10:42 a.m. For those with upcoming connections, please note the following. Flight BA 123 to Los Angeles, departing at 12:30 p.m. from Gate 52. Flight BA 456 to Miami, departing at 1:15 p.m. from Gate 54. Flight BA 789 to Chicago, departing at 2:30 p.m. from Gate 56.
November, Papa Foxtrot, Delta 773.
Kennedy ground, Speedbird 117 heavy, request taxi to the gate.
Speedbird 117, heavy, taxi to Terminal 8, speed 12, via hotel, Yankee Juliet, hold short of runway 4 left, then Alpha, November Charlie.
Hotel Yankee Juliet, Alpha November Charlie, gate 12, and we'll hold short of runway 4 left, Speedbird 117.
Speedbird 117 heavy, hold short of runway 4 left, Airbus A220 on the runway.
Holding short to 4 left, Speedbird 117. Okay. And here we are. Lovely, then let's continue cleaning up.
119.1 for further instructions.
119.1, Speedbird 117, see ya. Kennedy Tower, Speedbird 117, heavy, request crossing runway 22 left. Right. Speedbird 117, request crossing runway 22 right.
Speedbird 117, heavy, Kennedy Tower, cross runway 22 left.
Okay, crossing 22 right, Speedbird 117. Okay.
Heavy. Say again.
The left is clear, right is clear, the Airbus is holding. Speedbird 117, crossing runway 22 right.
Speedbird 117, heavy. Say again.
Yeah, we are crossing 22 right, Speedbird 117 heavy. Okay, on the right side everything is clear. So we cleared us to taxi Alpha, November Charlie. That means we are going to turn second left onto Alpha. And the left side is clear. Okay, so now we're just gonna follow Alpha all the way to the gates. So let's see if we can get some ground services. Terminal 8, Concourse B, and yeah, show all positions. Gate 12. No follow me needed, thanks. Okay, lovely. So for once, it's actually working. The right side is clear. This is not exactly a tight turn, so we can just keep up the speed. All right. So, after landing checklist, please. That's anti-ice. Off, windshield heat off, air data sensors off, continuous ignition off, any skids off, landing lights and strobes off, speed brake lever, forward flaps and slats up and retracted, trims 0, radar off, electrical panel set. We need a flight engineer. So electrical panel is set, fuel panel's gonna come up in a moment. Fuel panel is set, ECS checked, APU on, and brakes are checked, and that's the after landing checklist complete. Okay, so we continue on Alpha. That's around the right hand corner and then across the first bridge towards Terminal 8. Looks like the Delta is turning left, I like that. And we are clear on the right. 747-400.
31R, holding short land 533.
Modern stuff. Alright, we keep on Alpha. And here we go, going northbound across the bridge, and behind the bridge we take the second entry to the right hand side, and number 12 is right in the corner over there. Okay. Can certainly do that. So no aircraft stopping on bridge. Yep. You're going to find that in a lot of FCOMs as well. The reason behind this is that if you have to evacuate while you're on a bridge, there is a good chance that your slides might be too wide and throw the passengers right off the bridge.
31R, holding short land 533.
Alright, here's November Charlie. So the right side is clear. APU is confirmed running. Good. Okay, and then we are behind the American on our right hand side. Okay, taxi lights off. So, the weather radar is most definitely off. That is looking good. So, number 12's got to be that one. So, there's 12 X-ray, there is 12. So, nice and slow. Not as big as you think. We're not going to crash it into the wall on the left there. And here we go. So the guidance system seems not to operate. Or at least it is showing something, but not what we need.
Endeavour 5223, hold short of runway 31 right.
Something over here is going to be good.
5223.
Delta 1993, hold short of runway
Okay,
31
park and brake
right.
set.
31R,
So,
holding short Delta 1993.
APU Jenny is on. And that's looking good. So, gonna trip those generators. Going to switch off those hydraulic pumps. And that air conditioning. APU bleed on. APU is now on the bus. Okay, Captain, ready to shut down. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Engines coming down. Okay. So, one fuel pump for the APU, and that's it. So, back here we don't need to do anything. Over here everything's done as well. Excellent. Then let's go back to the front, and anti-collision light off, seatbelts and no smoking sign off.
Delta 1993.
Shutdown checklist. Engine rundown normal, park and brake is set, MSUs. Well, I'm not even gonna bother checking those. Okay, exterior lights set, standby power is off, fasten belts off, max indicators, let's see, I see no exceedances. Nope, that is good. Alright, max indicators reset, ATMs off, hydraulic panel set, and battery switch on, fuel panel check, ECS panel check, shutdown checklist complete. Well, my friends, and that's it. Welcome to New York's John F. Kennedy Airport. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. For now, thanks for flying along, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all again on the next one.